I believe I've said it from the start. I don't quite understand the appeal of the unboxing, but it gets views and I get packages, so why not unbox these boxes for the channel? And it's different than the first three. I'm not saying what's in them because, let's be honest, I don't know what's in them. I know broadly the style of what's in them because these are to be added to a collection that is already on display in the studio of something that's very nostalgic to me, those being the classic WWF Bend-Em figures. And I especially like it when I got that KB Toys $2.99 sticker on them. So after the ad read and after the open rolls, let's see what's in the box. I guess we'll start with this one first and see what is in this particular box to be added to the collection. And it's funny, I can distinctly remember feeling as though these figures that I now am collecting and appreciating, I can distinctly remember feeling as if they were the lessers when I was younger. They didn't have the $1 million punch action or the Superfly splash ability or whatever other Hasbro WWF figure special feature that those all possessed. So I always felt like they were the superior figure style, the Hasbros over the Bend-Ems. And then even later on, when the Hasbros faded away and the bone crunching action style figure became the new norm, I can remember thinking that they were cooler, bigger, better than the Bend-Ems. But again, there was just something about and I think a lot of it had to do with the price, the $2.99 price tag. But there was something about the Bend-Ems that meant that I could possess a great deal of them, and I think it was that price. But yeah, I got the WWF Bend-Ems of Owen Hart, which came out in 1997, to add to my collection of both New Generation and Attitude Era Bend-Ems that are on display in the studio. And Owen will be displayed along with Darren Drozdov Droz, who's next to Animal of the Legion of Doom, who's next to Hawk, who's next to Brian Crush Adams, who's awaiting the arrival of his friend Randy Macho Man Savage. And anybody with wrestling knowledge knows that all of these wrestlers are no longer with us, which is why that they're put together in the display area and the way that they are. So I'm curious as to which figure is in the largest box, because much like many people have joked about in the past, these shipping folks putting things in boxes that are far larger than are needed is rather amusing. And so it makes me curious as to who got the VIP treatment with the large box, because Owen's box was very appropriate for his size, and whomever is in this particular strongly protected package is also in a very appropriate for what was sent size. But whomever or whichever is in the large box on the bottom, I don't know, it's just amusing basically. The choices that are made when it comes to shipping. And yeah, it makes me curious if it was a person or a corporation that put it together, because I feel like when people do it, they're in much more appropriately sized packages, much like how this Al Snow and that Owen Hart were in containers that made sense. So now it makes me curious who is in the big box, because yeah, like I said, this Al Snow, he's going to hang out with and begin the section that is divided up by people that are generally from my local area, whether it be Al, who is from Lima, Ohio, hanging out with Johnny Gargano, who is from Cleveland, and then Johnny hanging out with Nick Nemeth, who set the wrestling record at Kent State University in Ohio, and then he'll later on get West Virginia's Heath Slater, and then Heath will hang out with Chicago's Colt Boom Boom Cabana. So now that Al is hanging out with Brian Pillman, the end of the deceased collection, and Johnny Gargano, the continuation of the local collection, let's figure out who's in the big box and where they go, because the thing is, there's not a lot left to be added to this collection. There's Chavo Guerrero Jr. from the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast, Bendy's line, which I think it's really cool that Cardona and Meyer have paid homage to the past. Oh my goodness, look, this thing's inside of an envelope, inside of a box, with all kinds of cushion, which, I appreciate. I think that it's thoughtful that whomever packed this did their best to make sure it stayed in good condition. But it's like, why not just send it in this? Although, in their defense, I've had plenty of hard times. Oh yeah, speaking of, here's Chavo. There he is, Chavo Guerrero Jr. from that Major Wrestling Figure Podcast figure line I was talking about. And yeah, I'm just a big fan of Brian Myers and Matt Cardona's, like I said, paying homage to things of all of our childhood, basically, because me and them are roughly in a similar age range. It's similar. But yeah, the packaging. Here's Chavo. Comes with his pet horse. And not like the originals, which you had to tear apart the package to get the trading card. This one you just let it slide out of the package. But yeah, the awesome trading cards that come with these are so good at bringing up that nostalgic feeling of what it was all about, all the cool, fun, positive things. And now, granted, they are not $2.99, which was one of the things that made them so achievable, collectible, gettable. Especially, when you come from a household that's, not well off. But I don't know. There's just this part of me that really feels the positivity for Matt Cardona and Brian Myers making these this style come back to a place of prominence. Like I said, the trading cards are some of the best aspects of the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast version of, as they call them, bendies instead of bendums, because, man, the art style is just, it's so good. That Eddie, it's clean. The Chavo, so much fun. Dusty, and then Nick Nemeth. Again, they all just, they pop. But it's funny, so one of my favorite parts about this collection is keeping the figures themed in areas that make sense. So like Pillman, Vader, Sid, Dusty, and Eddie are a class above because they are all wrestlers who are no longer with us. But below their tier, Steve Austin, Cactus Jack, Ron Simmons, Dustin Rhodes, Chavo, they're all tied to the ones who are no longer here, so they're near but not on the same level. And like I said, I'm waiting on Macho Man, Heath, and Colt Cabana to round out both the local nearby and the deceased part. I got a few spots left open around Mark Marrow and the Sting poster, so if there are some more WCW guys with Bend-Em figures that would make sense, I'd put them with Mark Marrow, Johnny B. Bad, whatever you want to call him. But you know, Jeff from World Class Bullshitters knows that these are things that I collect, and since he does his Life in Toys, the series, I told him to keep an eye out for Bend-Ems in package so I could bolster the collection. But yeah, thanks for tuning into this unknown box opening, and I hope you enjoyed. Like the channel if you haven't already, subscribe, leave a comment, enjoy. Thank you for being here at Mr. Super Oz. This video is going out, and this channel only exists because I, Oz, founded Gamble Comics, which first release was Everlasting Survivors, a 68-page graphic novel called All Day Long. Available now. Follow the link in the description that will take you to gamblecomics.com. While there, you can get hats, shirts, posters, much, much more, but most importantly, the story itself. Coming soon from Gamble Comics, BC Brute. I thought I was done. I finished recording, but before I could finish editing the video, 2 more packages arrived. So, might as well pop them open, see what's inside, add it to the mystery unboxing, because, you know, that's what it's all about, right? 2 unmarked boxes and more mystery to see what is inside. This one going through some hard times. I hope that what is on the inside is in good condition. Oh no, it does not look like it. Oh man, it's not in good condition. Oh man, this Macho Man Randy Savage is really, really damaged. The trading card is bent. The whole cardboard is mangled. Oh my goodness, this is in real rough shape. That is the hazard of believing, trusting, relying on the internet. My goodness, I don't even know how this is going to be able to display with all of its cohorts, because yeah, the whole thing is warped, and I'm not entirely certain how to get it to be not in bad shape. Oh man, and Colt Boom Boom Cabana is also, I think his card is in good shape, so that's good, but the backing is warped and rough, and I just don't understand how this would have happened was it the mailing process? Like the card is in way better shape than the package, and the card's definitely in better shape than the Savage one because the Savage is messed up. But yeah, is this what bent them out of shape? And if so, then what do you do in United States Postal Service? Like, do you just not care about? And you know, let's be real, maybe they don't care about their occupation or you know, caring about things that people buy. But if that's the case, man, that's some real dirty stuff. Because again, I don't even know if these are gonna be able to hang / display like I got them with the intent to do. Before I fight with the messed up packages, we'll open the last package. Although at this point it's no longer a mystery because, as I had said before, the only other figures for the collection that I got were Colt, Randy, and Heath Slater. So let's just hope Heath, because this box is in pristine condition, and yeah, see, his packaging is in great condition too. There's no bend. The card's not in bad shape, and honestly, the figure itself is very cool looking. He's just got that rock star attitude, and so I'm glad that this particular one came in good shape, and hopefully I can find a way to rehabilitate the packaging for the Savage and the Colt. Like I said, because they just I'm not sure how they'll display in their current situation. So what I ended up doing was, well, a little bit of packaging manipulation, because the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast packaging is so malleable. I took part of the messed up, bent, problematic, cracked case and put part of it with a good, not messed up or cracked cardboard to try and bend it back into shape. So for the sake of Randy, him and Heath flip-flopped parts of their packaging to try and bring both into operating order, and the same with Colt and Chavo. So because Colt had a cracked front plastic along with a bent back cardboard, what I'm trying is to give the bent cardboard the good front plastic and give the good plastic the bad cardboard, to try and hopefully get everything to balance out, if you will, so that they'll all be able to display properly or the way that I had intended. And for each one that has a messed up case, I used the door frame and a thumbtack to help straighten it out, because the messed up nature of the casing makes it hard for them to display like the rest. But hey, it's all in good fun, and they look nice in the end, and that's kind of all I'm really out for. So thanks for tuning in to the mystery unboxing. Come back all next week for more content from Mr. Super Oz.